Welcome, I'm the Factual Gamer, and these are this week's gaming news. Last Monday, May 11th, indie developer Studio Wildcard announced the game Ark: Survival Evolved, an open-world survival game set in an island filled with dinosaurs, created with the Unreal Engine 4. Even though survival games are quite common nowadays, and there was even the case of the Stomping Land, a dinosaur-themed one, which ended up being removed from the Steam store for being abandoned by the developers, this time it seems we might get to see a full game being released, as the trailer was also uploaded by the official PlayStation channel on YouTube. According to the press release, in Ark: Survival Evolved, the player starts naked on a beach among other humans in the same condition, and must then hunt, harvest, craft, research technology, build shelters, and also tame and ride many dinosaurs, including flying ones. And it has both single and multiplayer modes. The game goes into Steam's early access on June 2nd, with planned Oculus Rift support when it launches, and it's also planned to be released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2016. The following day, on Tuesday, May 12th, a new Kickstarter was initiated for Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, a project led by Koji Igarashi, former producer of several Castlevania titles, including Castlevania Chronicles and Castlevania Harmony of Despair, and also worked as assistant director in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night is described as being a 2.5D exploration-focused, side-scrolling platformer featuring RPG and crafting elements. Although no gameplay video or screenshots were presented in the Kickstarter campaign, only gameplay concept art, pledges quickly went beyond the asked amount of $500,000, and at the moment this video was made, the total was up to $1,984,000, with 28 days still left in the campaign. The game is set to be released for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, and is expected only in March of 2017. On the same day, Ubisoft officially announced the new Assassin's Creed title, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which takes place in Victorian London, which according to the press release is the largest city in the Assassin's Creed franchise so far. This time around, players will get to control twins Jacob and Evie Fry, who are respectively a hot-headed leader of a gang and a master of stealth and control. They will fight against the Templars to free the masses from poverty and corruption at the height of the Industrial Revolution. This time around there will be rope launchers and ziplining, and the player will be able to hijack horse-drawn carriages to not only hide in, but also drive around. And unlike the previous titles, there won't be any multiplayer. The game's launch date is set for October 23rd for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, with a PC version being released later this fall, but without a specific date as of yet. And yesterday, May 14th, Thursday, a small indie team, Too Awesome Studio, which was holding a Kickstarter campaign for their shoot-'em-up title Dimension Drive, was trolled by someone known only as Jonathan, who pledged 7,000 euros to the campaign just a few hours before it was over. The campaign was asking for a total of 30,000 euros to fund the project, and the 7,000 euros pledged were enough to push the total very close to the asked amount, which then ended up being reached, and would have made the campaign a success. But unfortunately, just 30 minutes before the conclusion of the campaign, Kickstarter removed Jonathan's pledge because it was apparently fraudulent. With the removal of the fraudulent pledge, the campaign failed, and now the team is considering what to do next, as they received a lot of online support after this event. The team's lead programmer, Alejandro Santiago, said in an email exchange with site Destructoid, and I quote, "Honestly speaking, it has been an exhausting month for us. We have been working really hard to make our campaign a success, and right now we are speechless, demoralized." And finally, also yesterday, NeoGAF forums user HGH translated an interview Konami's new CEO Hideki Hayakawa gave to Nikkei Trendy Net, the online version of a Japanese magazine, in which Hayakawa stated that Konami's focus is shifting to mobile gaming. Hayakawa said, and I quote, "We will pursue mobile games aggressively, and also, our main platform will be mobiles, following the pay-as-you-play model of games like Power Pro and Winning 11. With additional content, our games must move from selling things like items to selling things like features. Hayakawa also mentioned Metal Gear Solid 5 and Winning Eleven, or Pro Evolution Soccer as it's mostly known outside of Japan, stating that, and I quote again, "We hope that our overseas games such as Metal Gear Solid 5 and Winning Eleven continue to do well, but we are always thinking about how to push our franchises onto mobile there too." After the cancellation of Silent Hills and the falling out with Kojima, many people were left struggling to understand what was behind Konami's recent moves and decisions. But this interview seems to confirm that the company is moving away from traditional console or PC-based game development. One last quote by Hayawata in this interview worth mentioning is the following: "Gaming has spread to a number of platforms, but at the end of the day, the platform that is closest to us is mobile. Mobile is where the future of gaming lies." And those were this week's news. Next up, the releases. Today, the games being released are Adventures of Pip, Trainz, A New Era, Exostorm, on May 19th, next Tuesday, the releases are The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Hyperdimension Neptunia U Action Unleashed, Nancy Drew Sea of Darkness, The Curious Expedition, The following day, May 20th, Wednesday, the games are Gran Vitreous, Neon Struct, and on May 21st, next Thursday, the games being released are Epanalepsis, Sunset, Carmageddon Reincarnation, Interloper, Technobabylon, Drive Any Track, and that's all. Thank you for watching. We're really close to reaching 500 subscribers, so please help me reach this goal by sharing the video, retweeting if you follow me on Twitter, or simply subscribing if you haven't already. I'll be back next Friday, and that's a fact.